Hello there, and welcome to Life Between. Oh, jeez, we're having kind of a moment here. So it's not Life Between Lives; it's Dance of the Soul. And we're all having these days today, and it's after the full moon. So I just wanted to let you guys know that Regan's here. He just had to step out because of technology. And if he pops back in, his cameras aren't working, his phone's a little garbly, and we just have flies flying around. It's just been one of those days. So I just want you to know that if things are happening, it's because life is happening. And that's what we're doing the show about. This is Dance of the Soul. And Dance of the Soul is about how our lives, Regan and I, have come together to show through his hypnosis and my mediumship and my intuitive work that his life is not just about doing the Newton Institute's Life Between Lives. It's about doing hypnosis to help people through trauma dramas. And I don't mean dramas like it's nothing big. It's that we all have drama in our lives, no matter if we want it or not. And it is real. It is thick. It's that shell shock that we talked about last show. It's those moments where life just happens. And when we go through that and we navigate through that, that's what the show's about, is how does our soul walk through our life? Well, that's one thing, that doing life and navigating through life, that we kind of wanted to talk about stressing the little things. And isn't this funny? Regan having technology problems. He just talked to me about someone who, oh, my love goes, there's so many people who are losing their children. And he was talking to someone who was actually having a scenario where she had lost her child. And my love goes to everyone right now who they are losing, whoever that person is. And no matter if we recognize who they are or not, like I had one person who was walking by me, and he just looked, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, and he just kind of dumped, and he said, that I just lost my dad and I didn't know him. And people are telling me that I shouldn't be upset about it. And I go, you should be. You should be upset. You should have grief. You should have these moments. And here comes Regan again. He's trying to pop in. That as we go through life and as we're going through things, that we, like him losing someone, him going through something, that we all go through these things that happen, and we don't know. Grief doesn't have any agenda. It doesn't have anything that we can navigate through sometimes. And it's one of those things that as Regan is doing his technology thing, and I started talking about how we're not stressing the little things. And I was talking about how, I met up with this man who had grief over a father that he didn't even meet. And I said, but you're grieving. You're grieving the relationship you didn't have. You're grieving the relationship that you wish you would have had. You're grieving the relationship that isn't necessarily, and all these griefs. And we're having this next exodus. And I knew this was coming. And I knew 2021 was going to be kind of like an all-year exodus for souls. But there was going to be something about the September, about souls going to be releasing from our world and going into another world. And this is a good segue to have Veronica's little thing in here. Thank you so much. My husband's nephew passed away last night. He was, yes, he's with the angels right now. And, we're going through this, and for me, I've gone through grief. No, I have not lost a child. No, I've not lost a spouse or anything like that. But grief, I've gone through grief enough to know. And this is why this is what called me to talk about stressing the little things. Stressing the little things. And Regan, I hope you're not stressing over this, about your technology not really working.
But
Because it is a little thing. and
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine no matter what it is. You're gonna be perfectly imperfect. You're going to, and I love that statement, perfectly imperfect. You're going to try to do your better, not your perfection, your better. And we want it to be professional, but yet sometimes, like right now, you're still on your iPhone, right?
yeah. Can
Okay,
you hear me
so
now? Okay.
yes, I can.
Oh,
Can you
good.
hear
Okay,
us
I've got it
okay?
figured out.
Oh, good. So with that sometimes when Regan's on his phone gets a little garbly, and if that happens, that's called what it is. My love goes to everyone who's losing their loved ones right now, and for me, going through grief, it's taught me that perfectionism is out the door and down the street and in another state, because I'm gonna be not worried about the little things, and knowing that, talking about my husband who he's gone through grief through me, but he hasn't gone through grief himself, because he knew my parents, but yet it wasn't his parents. He's known things, but it wasn't, so it didn't touch him deeply. It touched him deeply. I'm not going to deny it touched him deeply, but there's a difference when it's personal, when it's a personal grief. And those little things just slip away. They literally just slip away. They become, oh, okay. Well, Regan wasn't here because he had technology problems. Yeah, 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 And or, like for me navigating what I did today, it was like, well, I didn't get done what I wanted to get done. Well, I got things done that were kind of important, which was
Yeah,
having somebody else feel like they were cared about. It wasn't necessarily, we're all kind of going through these moments where really, is this truly important to be stressed over? Is
yeah.
this truly important to be stressed over? Um, oh, he passed away from COVID.
Oh boy.
So Regan, I've kind of taken over the show a little bit because you were having some
Well,
scenarios, but I kind of
glad
gave
we
us
got
our
it figured out.
intro and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So how you been? I know you had a
Oh,
week too.
yeah, yeah. Good. It was a great week. I um, I did a radio show this week, and I'm thinking it wasn't last week. Wait a minute here. Did I tell you about the show I did with two priests and a nun? No, I probably didn't. That's what I'm saying. It was
Isn't
they.
that a joke?
No, it sounds like it, doesn't it? Two priests and a nun. Actually, one of the priests was from New York. One was from New Zealand or Australia, and I believe the nun was in New York. And they have a show every week. It's like a podcast, like what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow it's gotten in the top 10% of podcasts. And they just started it, like we're building an audience and everything and getting more. And people all over the world, it was amazing. They had a schedule for 1 hour. We went for 3 hours because they were so
Congratulations.
interested in this. Yeah, and they were so open to it too. They were like a little bit of a renegade from the Catholic Church, a little bit, because they talk about all this kind of stuff. And but they haven't been excommunicated or anything, so they're staying kind of. One of them was a bishop. He did exorcisms, you know, and
Hmm.
the talk was all about, though we just talked openly and everything about the afterlife, interweaving things from the Bible that were like when I told them about the womb experience that people have sometimes, or in this in what I do, where I take them through the womb to the afterlife. And the man says, "Oh my gosh, I remember the Bible thing that says God says I knew you in the womb," you know, and so that kind of made sense to him. But it was really we just loved it, and they said, "Well, we got to do another show on this." So, um, this just realizing that we all go through it. Like I just went to the funeral the week before. Was it Veronica that just chimed in that said her?
Yes, yes, yeah,
Yeah, hi
that was
Veronica.
Veronica.
Sorry about your loss, especially with COVID. It just takes people so early,
It
and
does.
younger and younger people are getting that now. Now, I don't want this to sound callous, but because this is good, but when I was on the other side about 2 months ago, I was before council and we asked about COVID.
You
And the
were in a
first
session. You were in a session, right? I want
Yeah,
to
I
make
was
that
in a
clear.
session myself. Yeah.
Hmm.
In other words, I traded sessions with another Life Between Life therapist in Alabama. and we did it on Zoom. And I was surprised how easily I went into trance just on Zoom. And so she took me to the, allowed me to go to the other side. And we asked questions about COVID. And one of the first things they wanted to comfort us in was the counselor over there says, first of all, we want you to know that those people that died of COVID are just fine. They're over here with us now and everything's cool, but they also had compassion for us knowing that we're going through grief. Okay. It was
Yeah.
beautiful, but they just said, first of all, like, they're okay, so
Hmm.
don't worry about them, but to deal with the grief and everything. So, uh, you know, Veronica, that, at least, in a sense, because you're a very spiritual person, that he's okay and
Hmm.
everything's going to be all right. But there's still that humanness we
It's
have. We still are going to go through grief no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the human aspect, and Melanie, Regan, Melanie's here, but I'm gonna say, Melanie, if you can hear me, we'll let you in a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Um,
And we're
that
talking about your situation right now, what you're going through,
Yes,
grief.
yes. So with that, we got somebody who, a guest that was going to come on, and she's sitting in the waiting room until the time kind of comes in, because
Yeah.
it is about something that you know like I say, that I have not gone to where I've lost a child, and that is unfathomable.
Yeah.
And my mother of heart, who came into my life 20 years after my mother passed, that she lost a child. So I was with her for 20 years of a woman who lost her child, and basically, she did not do it well for the first several years, she admits, and then she got to where she was surviving it, and then I've done many sessions with mothers, fathers, siblings who have lost early in life,
Yeah.
and lost their children and their family, and it's one of those things that as we go through life and manage it, that's why I wanted to talk about how so many of us, when we don't go through that grief process, and it's something that's innocent. I can tag myself too. That when we don't go through that grief process, when things don't kick us and take our legs out from underneath us, many a times we worry about those little things. We would have, if somebody went through the situation that we just went through to even get on the show, that would have ruined their day.
Yeah.
And for us, it was just a little speed bump.
Yeah.
It was a trip over a rock. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, okay, we'll
Yeah.
move on.
A good saying that Patty, my love of my life here, always tells me, and it really, I say it in my mind all the time when we have to go to plan B and then to plan C and sometimes plan D because things don't work out, is we both look at each other and we say, well, no babies are going to die. In other words, okay, put it in perspective here.
Yeah.
Like earlier, just a technical glitch. So yeah, when we're grieving, it's nothing else really matters. That we wonder, why was I getting so upset because the garbage disposal got stuck today? So what? It's going to work itself out.
Yes.
Because
Sometimes I know for me, even going through, I'm not the grief that I did, I lost track of time. I lost track of, did I hang up that phone? Did
yeah,
I did I drop that in the newsletter? Did I do what Melanie, I hope that you know that right now I'm going to give you a moment, before you come on, okay, sweetie? And as we're going through things, life happens and we do it, and light, my love goes to and that's one thing that I don't do simply. When I say my love goes, it's like, whoo, it's that moment, and because it is so difficult to manage this.
yeah. And I think
And
with COVID right now, it's just that it's so sudden. I mean, everybody's going along just fine. All of a sudden, they got a little cold or something, and then boom, they're gone. And I know, a matter of fact, it happened so quick today, and I have her email, but is it Amelia that we're going to let in a minute? Or
yes,
Madeline? Okay,
Madeline,
Madeline.
Madeline.
Okay, so I guess we'll ask her what she likes to be called, but I could just feel her sadness right now. She's going through a really tough time right now, and I told her, and Natasha, I just want to thank you again for people that didn't see the show last week, well, right at the end of the show, Natasha and I talked, and before I hung up, she says, "Oh, wait a minute, someone's here that wants to talk to your," and she couldn't, because I've never really introduced her to my significant other, Patricia. But she says, someone wants to talk to her. And I went, "Oh, you're kidding, what?" And he said he identified himself as her grandfather. And he said he used to play with, on the knee thing, like parents used to do in the old days,
Right, ride the kid
grandparents
on
used
their
to do.
knee.
They sit on the knee and they whatever. And then I said to Natasha, I said, "Well, I mean, wait a minute, do you know what his name is?" And Natasha goes, names. I know we always have trouble with like names. She says, it starts with a J, maybe John or something. So, and I said, "What does he want to say?" And he said he was really loving the integrity that she has, and says, "Keep up that good work and keep the integrity." So I hung up from you. I ran into the kitchen. She was cooking dinner. My significant other. I said, "Did you have a grandfather who used to put you on your name?" She goes, "Yeah. Why do you ask?" And I said, "Was his name John?" And she says, "Well, uh, Jack, but John, yeah, his name's John, but we all call him Jack." And I told her about the integrity thing, and she was just blown away. And then she did a Life Between Life session this last week, and I said, I had another colleague of mine do a Life Between Life session for her. So when she found herself on the other time, he showed up, and she says, "Are you the one that was coming through Natasha?" And he goes, "Yeah, I was just trying to tell you I'm watching out for you." So he must have known she was having a session, Natasha. And I just
They
think
do. They do. It's like the
you
it's
hit
like
it
the
out of the park.
synchronicity of things coming together, and that's one thing that as soon as my dad passed over, my mom was a little different, but my dad, he knew basically where he was going. I always said he had one foot in this world and one foot in the other world, kind of like I do in a way, that he just, and he knew right where he was going. So he spent time with me afterwards, and it was magical in how he just supported me. And I can tell you that there's a lot of loved ones that as soon as they cross over, yes, they're taken care of, but their love is so great for their family that they stick around a little bit and
Yeah,
and interact with them and hug them and dance with them. And I'm going to tell you right now though that if you don't feel them, don't be hard on yourself,
yeah,
because grief puts up a block where we can't feel them,
yeah,
but yet they're there. and
yeah,
and grief,
yeah,
it's like I always felt like grief was this blanket, and it had earphones on, it was a thick wool blanket, so you couldn't feel anything around you. You had blinders on, like a horse that had clear blinders. And especially when you lose a child, how can you see what life is about when you're so overrun, and you can't hear, you can't see, you can't do. It's just one of those things, and that's where I
yeah,
wanted people to take a breath and just say, please have a perspective when you're coming up to something, and really look at it, because our soul sees the bigger picture of why things are happening. We may not as
yeah,
humans, but our soul knows that I'm going to go back to the technology thing just because it was here and people can witness it. Little things are going to pop up. So what if you were supposed to be somewhere at 9 o'clock and you got there at 9:05? It's a little thing,
yeah,
Veronica, yes, when my sister passed, I could hear her yelling my name, because they're saying, I'm here, I care, I
yeah,
love. And your sister and you were pretty close soulmates, and so I can tell that, because I've done sessions with Veronica for many years and talked to her sister, so I know they're both them, that they were pretty close. They were each other's support team, and even though sometimes in life they kind of weaved in and out of that support, but they were. And as we go through life, yes, very close. Thank you, Veronica, for confirming that. As we go through life, that when our soul people leave us, that's even more of a ripping. It's like trying to rip a zipper apart, and it hurts, it stings. It's like taking that Band-Aid off, and it's feeling so raw, and we're just managing it. And I don't want to we had a really heavy show last Monday, and we're gonna have one today because of our guest here.
Yeah.
But that's not what we intend with this show. It's about moving forward. It's about that there is hope on the other side. There is light on the other side, even though sometimes grief takes us a little while to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is a good segue to bring her in. What do you think, Regan?
Yeah. Let's meet this beautiful
Wonderful
soul that's
soul.
having a tough time right now.
Okay, and I'm going to let you introduce her. Okay, Regan?
All right. And number 3. Hey, Madeline.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, yeah. Do you like to be called Maddie or Madeline?
Whatever you want to call me.
Okay, well,
I'm just
Maddie.
so grateful to be here.
I like Maddie. That's a cool name.
Okay.
That just sounds. I think I could have lunch easy with the Maddie, and it would be very nice. Because I don't know, just has a nice like friendly thing. It's like Joe. All the Joe nice to be
Okay.
with Maddie's. So Maddie, we're sorry about
Okay,
what you're having to go through, having to lose,
sounds
especially. We all think we're gonna out. It was your son, right?
2 sons,
Oh,
but
yeah, she's had.
one
That's
just recently.
yeah, and that makes it even more difficult.
One passed away at 11 and a half months old of heart disease 25 years ago, and he was my 4th child, son, and my firstborn just died November 14th of a massive heart attack at 32 years old, November 14th of last year. And the thing is that I've suffered calamity. I'm 52 years old, and I've suffered calamity after calamity after calamity. And after listening to Richard, I'm okay with the calamity, but the death of my children, I don't understand why they had to die before me, especially my eldest and I had a very toxic relationship. There was no respect because I understand I came down to learn about addiction, and my son had a problem with that. So we had a very volatile relationship. But 2 weeks before he died, I told him I loved him very much and that I was sorry for the way I behaved because I don't think he understood. I didn't even understand at that time that my one of my missions was to come down and learn about addiction. I learned that recently. So he was I believe he was very disappointed. All my children were, because I had 6. Now I have 4 left. So I apologized to him and I told him I loved him very, very much and that I was very sorry for all the evil things that I said to him when we would argue because he resented me for many things.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, Mom. And he said, okay, Mom. And then he dies. I'm the one that took him to the hospital, and he died. The first one died in my arms, and this one died in front of me. Now, it's hard for me to accept that I agreed to see my children die in front of me. So I need to reach him so that he can tell me something because I don't want to relapse. I want to commit suicide to be with him, but I have one more son who's 12 years old and 3 daughters, and I'm about to be a grandmother to my first grandson. I don't want to leave this way. I don't want to finish the play early. I don't want to disappoint everyone and be stuck 100, 500 years. Everything that Richard says. I don't want to destroy the plan, because I believe it. I believe what Richard is saying. I feel it in my heart that it's true. But why would he leave me like this? There's so many things that I've suffered. I'm going to tell you, my husband of 20 years, who I believe is my soulmate, was molesting our daughters for 10 years. And I found out 7 years ago and we put him in jail. And right now, I was getting over that hump. my son dies. So now I get hit with this, and I just
Yeah.
want to die. I just want to slit my wrist, but I can't. Something inside me tells me, no, you can't do that. You can't leave this earth like that. So I can't do it, and I need a
Yeah.
confirmation. Somebody needs to tell me, no, Madeline. Ariane needs to tell me. Ariane needs to tell me, Mom, you can't do it. Stay, Mom. I need him to come through, or Gregory. I need my sons to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, Maddie,
I'm sitting in a
let
hot
me,
car because I believe in you. I believe in you guys, and I need you guys to help.
yeah,
I can't even see
Maddie,
you. My glasses. My glasses are so messed up. I can't even see you.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Maddie, I'm going to turn it over to Natasha because this is her expertise, and we'll see. You know, she might be able to help. We don't know what's going to happen here, but let's just see if she can contact him
Okay.
if it's possible from the other side, and maybe we'll have be able to do a little bit, and then you know, I can do a more in-depth session for you sometime, you know, in the future, and you can maybe actually see him face to face. Okay, but let's see if we can.
Oh yes.
Let's see if Natasha has. Natasha, go ahead and take over. Okay, she now that you've heard her, what can you do? And I'll just be quiet here.
Maddie, my love goes to you. Oh, my dear sweet one, that oh, what a life, and I honor
Listen,
you.
I've been in a fire.
I
I died in a fire, and I came back. I died OD'd on crack, and I came back. I drowned in a pool, 13 feet, and I came back. I keep coming back, but I don't remember nothing, and it's torment. Take this filter away from me. I need to know.
okay. So with this, that my dear, that I honor you for what you're going through. This is not. Oh, so his name is Richard. What was his name?
No, his name was Joseph Arian. I called him Arian. His first name was Joseph, like his dad, but we called him Arian.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to come to you first, okay? That you are meant to be an ambassador for coming through things, okay? People have watched you come through. You're the ambassador. I'm going to say that again, an ambassador for navigating through your life. You may not have done it well. You may not have done it the way you wanted to, but you've come through your life. You're walking the path of being in survival mode. You're not a survivor, you're in survival mode. So you are doing what you can do right now. My love goes to you. My honor for what you've gone through is coming to you. I want you to know that as you're going through this is the hard thing that us parents do for our children is that we bring them in to know that they have their own paths to walk. Whew. That as we bring them in, we don't want them to leave before us. Yet at the same time, those sometimes souls have their own timeline, and that's not in our control as parents.
I know.
As an ambassadors of holding them, caring for them through those first years. And as we go through life and as we're navigating through life, we wish that we would do things different. We can't. We didn't. How could we? We didn't know better to do better. You know, as we go through things and as we navigate through things, that life happens to us. And as we're going through life and as we're navigating through this, I honor you again for what your personal path has been through this.
Thank you.
I want you to get, if you can, Oh my gosh, grief. It's amazing when you lose a child, especially two. Oh my gosh, my grandmother, when she lost her two, she went into dementia. She couldn't even survive it. And I apologize for those who are watching. We got two people on cell phones, so technology is a little bit rocky, but we're navigating it. I just want to make that disclosure. We're going through this moment where grief is blanketing over this land, and your grief is tapping into that, my dear. That's why you're feeling it double fold sometimes, because the area that you're in, where you're the people you're around, and the navigation of what's going on is grief folding over on top of itself, so it's even thicker. Okay? And your son took a little bit of while to come in because he wanted me to do some work with you first so that you would be able to hear him. Okay? Because of the fact that when we walk through grief, sometimes when somebody gives a message to that person, they won't hear it. So I'm glad this is on YouTube and Facebook so that you can go back to it and hear it even months later. Okay? What's your first son's name?
Gregory.
So your first son, your first one that passed away very young was Gregory, right?
Gregory Michael.
So Gregory, I think Regan's getting a little with his technology. He says, Mama, you did no wrong.
Yes.
You did no wrong, Mama. You did no wrong, Mama. You did no wrong. He wants to keep saying that. You did no wrong, Mama. It's because of the fact that as we go through life, that I was meant to bring love for you. I wanted to trigger you into love, Mama. I wanted to trigger you into love. I wanted you to know that there is something more magical, Mama. I did not want you to have grief. I was not meant to. I would have caused you more pain with my illness. I would have caused you more pain because of my illness. And so with that, Mama, I wanted you to know that I love you. Please forgive me for leaving you and having this body that I had. I could not stay because I would have caused you so much more pain. You weren't strong enough when I was born to deal with what I had. And that is not your fault, Mama. That is not your fault. Okay?
Oh, my baby.
So please know that no matter what you've done in your life, you are the best mom you could have been with what you had, with the tools that you had. Okay? Now,
I'm sweating because I'm in a hot car. My glasses fell. I can't even.
So with that, I'm going to take a moment here. There was somebody who made a comment, and I'm going to bring this in. Hello, I'm glad I caught you from South Africa, and I would love to hear from my sister-in-law. She passed 2 weeks ago. Oh, Yui. And I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. My love goes to you too. Oh, we have so many that are passing right now. Oh, please turn on the car for air conditioning if you can.
The air conditioning just stopped working. I'm getting a new car tonight. The thing is, I don't want you to hear the noise outside because I'm underneath a train.
Yes.
Oh, maybe I should. I'm gonna move.
I'm hoping this kind of session is greater than something I can do on YouTube and Facebook. I want to honor you for the grief that you're walking through. Your son, your older son.
I'll be back. Go ahead. My older son.
Your older son, he says, Mom.
Yes.
Mom, I had a deficiency in myself that caused me to have this.
That caused me what?
he says that he had a deficiency in himself, so that he could not withstand some of the things he had to go through energetically, emotionally. He had kind of some things that happened with him, and part of it is that he many times our young ones, when they go through so much stress in the womb, and when my child is one like this too, and they go through so many things, and then they have the DNA that they were brought into, kind of like your first child or your last child who just came in.
Yeah.
You know, that they have our DNA, but they have their own DNA that comes in through past lives and different things that are happening. And as we go through life and go through that, it's amazing how that combination led to this this combination of him, that he didn't have the ability to manage a lot of his scenarios, his negatives, those whispers, the shadows in his own brain, his negative talk. He wasn't able to navigate them because of the way that he was made. Not you, but you were part of the puzzle piece. Does that make sense?
No. You mean his body was messed up, just like my fourth kid?
In a way, yet it was more through his nerves.
The way. Well, okay, what I'm thinking was he acquired about 26 to 28. His heart started getting bad, so I'm thinking heart disease runs in my family, right? And he wasn't taking care of himself, and he was drinking,
And that
and he was
added to
smoking
it.
weed.
Yes. So I'm going to go to that. That's the electrical system. The heart is basically, it fires because of electrical system. And when we have that mishap, the DNA that comes through from what previous lives, he had previous lives where he had a lot of trauma that he was working through. And so he was kind of doing a lot of that work through his past lives in this life. And as he worked and as he went through, he had troubles navigating it from very young. He didn't feel right in his body from very young.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He didn't feel comfortable in his body. He knew that there was something that was off. He knew that there was something that was off. And he's telling me, Mom, I didn't know how to do better, I didn't have the knowing. We didn't have the way to know. He's saying, Natasha here knows how to speak with her body, and I didn't know how to speak with my body, Mom. I didn't know how to speak with my body. And he's saying that through that not being able to speak with his body, he was trying to take away his discomfort, and it ended up becoming drugs because of how he stepped into his friends, his life, his patterns, whatever it is. Nobody's fault. It's just the scenario that happened. And my love goes to you, my dear, for going through this. My love goes to you.
I love him so much. I didn't mean
and
to
he
be
knows that he loves you
mother.
too. He does not blame you. He does not blame you, Mom. I do not blame you. He's saying, and he's trying to pound. He's trying to pound. Did he used to pound on your chest, or on your back, or he used to pound on something? Because he's just pounding, saying, it wasn't your fault, Mom. It was my body, my way. And I'm sorry, Mom.
I love you so much.
He loves you too. He loves you too. He wished that he could take this from you.
You left me, Ariel. Ariel.
Soul's energy and paths are not. I even have this friend, Kathy. She's saying his soul's energy and path. Mom, it's not Mom's fault. It's not Mom's fault.
I don't say it's my fault. I just want him back.
I know,
That's
honey. I
okay.
know. I know. Jacqueline, thank you for coming.
And
It's
well,
not your fault, Mom.
does he know that I just got offered a city job? Does he know what's happening down here? I just got
He,
offered a city job to work with addicts, to help addicts. I told him I was going to be a counselor with addicts. That was my fucking oops.
it's okay.
That was my life. That was my past. I knew it
hmm
since I was a
Didn't
kid.
I
I
tell you at
came
the
here to help
beginning of
people.
this? You are
Yes,
to be an
I'm ambassador,
ambassador. You are to be
and
an
yes,
ambassador.
and I knew. Yeah, but I didn't know what you meant. Tell me in
Sometimes it
English.
comes
Tell
around.
me what
Sometimes
that
it comes
means in English.
around. My wonderful one who's gone through so much. Sometimes it
So
comes
what does that
around.
mean in English? What does that mean in English, ambassador?
Ambassador
In plain
means,
English.
yes, in English it means one who is showing someone how to be. They show them how to be. They're one, if they do an ambassador well, not every ambassador does this well. If they do it well, that they are the one that says, this is my talk, this is what I do, this is who I'm going to be. You're speaking the truth that you can survive. You're an ambassador to say you can survive what you're going through. Not everybody will survive it, but you will survive it.
And
And
that's what
it's
I tell
and it's
everybody. People
and
laugh,
an
people laugh at
ambassador's
me and they tell me, "Oh, you're crazy."
oh, because they don't understand. So just push them, go la 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 when they talk to you.
I do. I do.
Because
I
nobody
laugh
can
at them.
understand what your story is. Nobody can
They,
unless somebody goes
they tell
through
me
it themselves.
they tell me, so how come you're still, like not rich and not well to do? I said, it's all right. I said, just wait. I'm only 52. My better years are coming. Just wait, give me a minute. But I know my life path is to help people with addiction because I went through it and I survived it. And I just got hired for a residential treatment center counselor position with New York
And
City.
your children, I can feel your children as a collective because I can feel the souls of your other children are still here. They in their higher selves and the children who have passed are backing you. They say, believe in yourself, Mom.
I
Don't
believe in
doubt that you have the
I will.
tools. Please be free of doubting that you have that you have the tools. Okay?
I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting. It's the grief because I look at my son's picture. I have his picture on a table with a candle, a big like wine glass, a big one with water for clarity, for him to have clarity, and then I have a portrait of Gregory to the left, on my dresser because his portrait is too big to have on the same little table. And I look at both of them. I know Gregory's gone, like to the flip side, but I know he's alive, and I know Adrian's alive too.
Both of them. I
But
see angels with them. I see you had a grandfather. You had a grandfather that has passed that was he was one of the men of your family that actually were a great man, right? And he helped
I
your
don't know. I
son
never met
pass.
my grandfather.
He's one that had integrity out of a lot of the men of that generation, and he helped him pass over. So he has been taken care of. He did not walk home alone. He did not walk home. He is with angels. He is with love. That's why he can talk to you today, is because he's been with the love. He's been with the greater love, which is angels, the one who made us, the greater, the creator. He is with the creator who loves them, and he is being held. He is so much being held. I see a rainbow of love around him as he is working. I see a rainbow of love through you and around you too, to heal your grief where it can. Where it can, your grief, for going through your grief. You're an amazing
whole
woman, and
life,
it's not in a good way. I mean, it's that's meant in a,
my
oh my gosh, I can't believe what you're still here. Whew.
my whole life has been grief, and I'm still my friends and family that know me. They're like, I don't know how you still smile.
Mhm.
I'm still polite. I still make people laugh, but when my grief hits me, it hits me. I look at,
Mhm.
like I was saying, I look at my son's picture and I talk to him and I say, I can't believe you're gone. I can't
Yes.
believe you're not here. The one that just passed, because I'm fully aware that Gregory passed away 25 years ago. But Ariane, I'm still like in shock. Like, no, you're gonna
Yes.
walk through that door. You're gonna walk through that door, and he still hasn't come back. So that
Ooh,
still hurts because
that's
he
the
did.
sad thing. That's the sad thing when we have someone, and Jacqueline says that not everyone is ready for your medicine, Mama Bear. Not everybody's ready for your medicine. So with that this is the one thing that I understand about grief is that when we have time because of illness, we have time to start grief earlier. Yet the ones that we have grief because of a car accident or a heart attack, or sometimes way that COVID has taken, or these moments where people are snapped out of our lives because of um, of suicide, or those types of things, we don't have time to pre-grieve. We don't have time to pre-grieve. So it's almost like and so when we pre-grieve, we can walk into grief. We walk into grief going, okay, I know what this looks like. Yet when it slaps us in the face and knocks us down and it hits us in the back of the head and it makes us go into a car crash ourselves because of the reality is so painful to look at, we don't have time to pre-think about how we're going to navigate through this grief. And so it just slams us. And that's why it's so hard to walk through that grief when we have something that like for your son that you knew that had the heart problem, you had a little bit of time to know that you may not have him in a way, but yet at the same time it still hurt when he did go. Yet this one, it was like it was out of the blue. How could this happen?
I was in I was in denial with the big one, with my firstborn, because he used to tell me, "Mom, I need a heart transplant," and I used to look at him and say, "What are you talking about? You were born fine. What are you talking about?" And he'd say, "Mom, my heart is bad. Mom, the doctors say this," and I'd be like, I don't see proof. You're not showing me proof. I don't believe you," because we
Yeah,
used to
well, that's what
argue.
he was saying. That remember when he told you, he said, Mom, there's been something wrong with me from a long time, and it made me uncomfortable. That's why he was self-medicating, because he was uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It
and I
was
didn't
not your
believe him, and
fault.
then,
It was not your fault. So please just know he does not blame you for not knowing. He does not blame you for not knowing.
but I could have done
He
more.
does not
I could have
blame
done
you
more.
for not knowing, and I'm going to speak over you because, my love, that it's going to take you time until you understand that, and I understand that. But I'm going to speak over you because it's not you. It's not
But
you. He's not blaming you.
how do I
It was his body, his whole
how do I get
gap.
over how do I get over this grief?
You
How
don't.
do I get over this grief?
Keep
I
walking
can't.
forward, my dear.
I
Keep
won't get
walking
my
forward.
blessings if I don't get over this grief. I won't get my blessings if I don't get over this grief.
Okay,
I can't
so
help somebody else
Maddie,
if I don't get over this
Maddie,
grief.
Maddie, this
Yes.
is bigger than what we have right now, okay? Let me do a private session with you, okay? Okay? Because I can tell you, you don't get over it, you go through it. You go through it, okay? You go through it. Keep going through it. Keep walking forward, okay, my dear? Keep walking forward, okay? Just breathe.
Okay.
Breathe. This is bigger than what we can do right now, okay? My love goes to you,
Yeah,
okay? Just stay here. Go ahead, Regan.
you still have the information I sent you, didn't you? The earliest one, and it's got her information on there. And I think what would be good is in privacy of the two of you, and Natasha can help you so much, and you can go through that. And also, there's a technique I do with my clients that aren't into the spiritual, but they're still going through grief. And we do what's called an EFT session. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique. And what it does is it releases you from a lot of your excess emotion that you're going through right now. It works every time, and it works fast. And it's something, when you learn how to do it, you can learn to, like, as the grief is coming up, like, I'm pretending I'm you right now. And I would be like, you'd be going like, it says, oh my God, here it comes again. I mean, I'm starting to lose it. I miss him so much, but you know what? I love and accept. I love and accept myself. I know he's told me there was nothing I could have done, but then I still feel like there's something I could have done. I don't know how to get over that, but I love and accept myself. As you're going through this, it takes the tension out of you. You start to see things more clearly, and it gets you through the day, because physiologically, Harvard Medical School in your neck of the woods back east there, they studied this tapping, and they hooked people up to machines, and they saw as people did this tapping, there's a whole physiological effect where their tension would calm down. Their cortisol level, which is their stress hormone, which they measured, went down like 50% in just a few minutes, just by doing this tapping. Because what it does is it lets escape from you that too much. You're going to feel a little sad all the time. Even 10 years from now, when you think about them, you're going to have a little sadness, but it's not going to be debilitating you like it is right now. Like you say, how can you help someone else? When you're feeling so bad, it's hard to. But I will tell you though too, by just putting your emotions aside for a minute and helping somebody else, that's going to help you get through your grief. Because the best way to get through it is to help others. Because when you do that, you're giving love out to others. Love kind of comes back to you, and kind of doing that. So don't let yourself go down the rabbit hole, and just cover yourself. Just like I can tell, just when the first moment I saw you, I went, this is a very strong woman right here. I do not want to mess with her or get on her bad side. She can take care of herself.
That's why one of the watchers called you Mama Bear, because yeah.
So you're going to get through this. But now Natasha's been through this before. I lost a brother when he was 21 to muscular dystrophy, and I was there the moment that he died, and I was able to see his last breath. And that stuck with me for a long time, because I was only 22 at the time, and it was very difficult. Away. Yeah, but here the other thing.
That look when they picked the last breath never went away, and I saw it for both my sons.
I know, and I want to let you know something here. Look who these two beautiful souls chose to be with them when they passed over. It was you.
Yeah, me.
It's not. Some people think that's a curse. They go, "Why was it me?" No, it was you, because they wanted someone that loved them to be there with them in their last moment. So that you are very lucky in that sense, because they chose you.
I prayed to God, and I said, God, please allow me. When my children were born, the first face they saw was Mom. Allow me that when my children die, the last face they see is Mom. And for both my sons, he allowed that.
They honored you that way. They honored you.
They honored you, yeah.
I'm so grateful. I'm grateful.
What you just need to do, Maddie, is just one day at a time. Doing what you're doing here today, you're going to feel a little bit of relief, and you just have to listen to what Natasha said, because I know she was saying, "Mama, you did not do anything wrong." You don't need that. You don't need that guilt.
No, it's the little steps, and how could you not feel that way as a mother? Every mother that I've heard has said the exact same thing. I could have done. I should have. I could. No. I have another thing to do. Holding your fingers. This finger's about grief. This one's about anger. So the ring finger's about grief.
Ring finger's
about grief. Hold on to it and that will help your body go through it. The middle finger is about anger. Anger. Why did he fucking leave me? Anger. Anger. So start here. Start at your pinky and hold it. And then hold it. And then hold it. And if you're feeling grief, sometimes I hold two fingers at the same time, because grief and anger go at the same time. Yes.
What's the pinky? What's the pinky?
The pinky.
This is grief.
No, it's about worry.
Oh, this is worry?
Yes. I I don't have my paper with me. I knew I was supposed to have it. I was
Okay.
told to have it.
So the pinky is worry, grief,
Pinky is
anger.
worry.
Anger.
Okay.
And then
Well,
there's
Pinky is
anxiety and there's different things. So with that, and this is about the heart. The pinky's about the heart because each finger is about each organ too. And so your gallbladder and your liver are the ones that help you go through emotions, and they need support too. So be careful about what you're eating, okay, my dear?
Yeah. Right after he died, I wasn't eating anything, but then I started overeating and I gained 50 pounds. Now I'm trying to lose the weight, so I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yes,
I
grief.
might
And
in the
where does
gym.
grief hit? Grief sits in our tummies. Grief sits in our
Yeah.
tummy area. And so, yes, I finally released the grief of my parents and my family that I lost. I was having children at the same time my parents were dying. And so with that my grief kind of swirled at the same time something magical was happening for me. And so I had to work through, and my grief hit my belly because my belly was having kids at the same time I was having grief. And so with that's why we protect ourselves with our weight. So as you work through your grief, my dear, and remember, it's little steps. People think that they can walk through grief running. No, it's that little steps, and having the tools to get through grief is the thing that helps our body and our mind go through it, even though we do it.
Is it specific places I have to tap, or
Yes.
anywhere in the body?
Yeah, Madeline, if you go to YouTube, there's probably 100 videos on EFT, like EFT, right? Do you have something to write that down?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, Madeline.
Yes, dear.
Hey, I'll tell you what, better than that. When we go off the air in a couple of minutes here, stay here, and when Natasha leaves there, just stay on with me. Oh, EFT.
Okay.
See that? EFT.
Yeah.
And now,
Okay.
That's for other people who aren't going to be with us afterwards. The EFT on YouTube or EFT on yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
Okay.
it's the most magical thing we have on this planet that helps with stress and depression. And I have a lot of women that have a lot of post-traumatic stress from bad things that have been done to them, and it just helps.
It's magical. It's magical.
Now, Natasha, what I was wondering, I mean, I could do a second. Say, Madeline, when we're done here, and Natasha, without you disconnecting when you're not there, I can just do I'd be happy to do a free session for her, just teaching her where the points are.
Yes.
And I'll go through some stuff for her, and then she can make an appointment. Maybe she can contact you in the next day or so, and you can do a session for her, and we'll get you going, Maddie. You know, I mean, we've all been through that, and we want to help you. You know.
Okay. I have a couple of comments that I'd like to bring up because we try to close the show down about 5, but we can go over by a few minutes. I'm not gonna rush us here. So Kathy says some go to college, others walk the challenges and teach from their own experiences. Yes. So some of us go to college to get our knowledge. I have gotten mine through walking through life. And so with that we go through life by learning. And so your college has been your dance of life. And the dance has been a partner you did not like or the music you didn't like. So with that, I feel like that the work that you're doing at the beginning, it's going to get lighter for you. You did your hard work at the beginning so that you can have more grace as you get into the elder years. Okay. Kathy also says, the lives you will teach lives
you will touch.
Go ahead, Regan. Thank you.
Okay. The lives you will touch in ways others cannot. Bless you. They are always with you in spirit in your heart. So even people watching you right now, they can tell that you're a good person there, Maddie. And they can tell that you touch people by what you do and how you help them. He says, oh, yeah. So, and Jacqueline, see, you're getting people to pray for you today. You're getting, we're just all giving you lots of love, Maddie.
Yep.
Thank you.
And when you have,
so much, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
and Maddie,
appreciate
when
it.
you get through this,
Thank you.
yeah, you know what? Because you've been through this, and it's going to make you so strong and everything. When you have someone that you're trying to help, and they're going through the same thing you're going through now,
You're
guess
gonna
what?
know it.
You're going to know how to help them. You know,
Yep,
you're going
you're gonna
to.
know it.
Because I got out of addiction, I want to help addicts so bad.
That is
I have a
the, yeah.
metaphor. I have a metaphor for addicts. If there are any addicts listening, my metaphor for any drug is when you're using, it's like riding a rocket ship. It's like someone lighting fire and, lighting that rocket ship, and you're on the rocket ship and you're riding, right? So you're riding up the sky, and it's euphoric, right? Because you're speeding, you're going so fast. So you close your eyes and you're enjoying it. When you get to the moon and you're flying over the moon, your rocket runs out of gas, runs out of power. What happens? It starts to flop over, right? And it's starting to fall down to the earth. You soon realize, oh my God, my brains are going to splatter all on the ground, right? So what do? You start to panic. That's what happens with a couple of particular drugs. The heart starts to palpitate, and you start to panic. I need another hit. I need another hit. I need some more. I need some more. So what do so that you don't splatter your brains on the ground? You go and you take another hit. That's a metaphor just for crack cocaine. I don't know about dope, but I can help crackheads, because if a crackhead is tired, they'll listen to that metaphor and they'll be like, oh shoot, that's right. That's exactly how I feel.
Mhm.
So
And
I mean,
that's why you're ready, even walking through grief, to be the capital BE, whatever you are, the capital BE, whatever you are, for who's ever in front of you. You're going to be perfectly imperfect. You're going to do it the better you can. And as you go forward, you'll know how to do it better as you go forward. And just know that you're loved. You have angels with you, my dear. You have Azrael. You have Amelia, actually, Angel Amelia, who's your specific angel that's helping you, and she's dancing with you, wanting to help you. She wants you to listen to music, happier music. She wants you to listen to
I was
happier music. Okay.
I was
So with that, my dear, it's time for us to go, and so stay where you're at. Okay. Okay.
We're just going to say goodbye to everybody else.
So thank you everyone for watching, and I know that we've had a couple of shows that have been pretty heavy, and it's one of those things that as we go through life, but that's why Regan is here, Jacqueline. Perfect imperfection, it makes the world go around. I love that. Thank you, Jacqueline.
That's a good one, Jacqueline.
Yeah, that's why I love the saying, I'm perfectly imperfect, doing the dance I can dance right now because that's all I know to do. So with Regan, how do people get a hold of you so that you can help them? Because you have many different things, life between lives, going through stress, going through the anger process of life. You have a lot of different tools that you help people with.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like Madeline, I've been through 2 addictions, and I haven't since I was in my 40s. Now I've been pretty clean of those, and that's when life got really good. When I got through that immature kid part of myself. So anyway, people can get a hold of me at visittheafterlife.com. I specialize in doing the spiritual therapy, which is helping you achieve a deep state of relaxation. And in that state, through the Newton Institute, I've learned how to have you actually experience a past life, and then turn around, you'll see an angel or a guide there, and then you get to go to heaven for a few hours. And you have a list of prepared questions. You get to visit loved ones that passed on. Sometimes you get to go before counsel, and they'll give you a lot of advice on your current life. And then we also get through your higher self, do a body scan, and see how your health is. And sometimes you can actually get healings in these places. I just get goosebumps every time I have someone under and they get all this help. And I do traditional therapy. If what I do, the other part seems too out there, like for some people, that's fine. There's some good things in regular therapy that can help. And on my website, Visit the Afterlife, there's videos on regular therapy and the spiritual therapy. So what about you, Natasha?
Well, you gave you got kind of a crash course on me,
Yeah,
and Maddie, that I hope that you know that you're surrounded by love when I'm working with you and interacting with you. That and everyone, thank you. I want to say thank you, everyone who commented.
yeah, it
Your
was.
love was felt. I feel the
I
energy,
feel the energy.
and I
Are we
feel
done? We're done?
the what was that, Maddie?
The show's over? Are we alone?
No, not yet.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, okay.
And as you and with the comments and as we go through things, thank you very much, because this is a community. This is about supporting each other. If we don't support each other, how are we going to do life? How are we going to navigate through life? So with that, you can reach me at Angelic Clarifications, or my email is Natasha@Angelic Clarifications. My soul, this is my soul's calling, is to be with those who are walking through life, who are doing their navigation through life, uh, down from shame to grief. It's to happiness, to complete sorrow. I hold space and love. And if there's a way that we can work through this and navigate through this and walk through this, it's not even sometimes need to be work. It's just that process of going through life and navigating through what we can. Life is about how can we get through it. And as we get through it and as we go through things, it's amazing how to be. And that is the way that Regan, that's why Regan and I keep doing this show, is that it's because we're here to be with you, to help your soul do the soul's dance through life. I think that's why we came up with this title, because today was a perfect example of our soul's dance through life. When Maddie ends up 30 years from now passing and going on, she'll learn why she went through all this. And yet going through sessions with me and Regan, she'll get a little snapshot of more of why she's going through this now, which is helpful. And
Yeah.
that's why we're here. This is why we're here. So blessings to everyone and with everyone. And know that as your loved ones are I feel a big exodus coming in, and my love goes to everyone. No one goes home alone. Angels, loved ones are with them no matter what, and stay with them. They're never alone, never alone. With that as we go through life, we're here Mondays, 4 Pacific, PM 4 Pacific on my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, or my Facebook page, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications. So with that, blessings to all, and I will see you on Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time doing life clarifications, helping you through something. I haven't come up to, I haven't getting a hit on what I'm supposed to work on Wednesday. So my love to you. We send you love. Blessings to all.
See you next week.